Alright, DIY Jules here with a refrigerator project, and I am going to paint this white refrigerator black, but first we have to clean it. And I have found this grease lightning. You spray it on and just look at all of the grime and everything just starting to come off. I mean, this is insane. This stuff is so good. I have never run into a cleaning product that does that. Stay tuned, I'll show you the rest of the next steps. So now that it's basically cleaned, alright, I take lacquer thinner, step number 2, lacquer thinner on a piece of paper towel, and then we go over all of the areas that we cleaned. A, to remove residue, and B, to try and bite into the vinyl a bit to make it more porous to properly accept paint. And then we move on to step 3. I'll holler back on that step in a second. Sorry it's loud, but I do have to have an exhaust fan running because of the lacquer thinner. Couple things you need to know about the paints. I'm using an enamel because for some reason they do not make black appliance epoxy, only in aerosol, and I'm not spray painting indoors in a White House. Alright, end of rant. You need to put 1 capful, no more than 1 capful of this paint thinner to that quart. You will need to use a foam roller, okay? Because your regular rollers have little hairs that are going to come off and get stuck in the enamel, and it will completely ruin what you want to do. Alright, so you just basically get your paint on your roller and start painting. Okay, now you will get air bubbles. Do not panic, they pop. Alright. Now, the first side that I did covered in 1 coat. Alright. But it was so thick because I hadn't thinned it down yet that it's still not dry, and it's been 24 hours. So with this thinned down version, I'm hoping the air bubbles should pop more quickly, and it should dry more quickly, which is a bonus because I don't like having my refrigerator out in the middle of the living room. Okay. Just a light touch, you don't want to leave lines. And I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, DIY Jules. Here we are at the end of the refrigerator project. You know, overall, I'm extremely pleased with these results, never having done this before, ever. Certainly, it's not going to be perfect. I didn't expect it to be perfect. I have learned over my lifetime to live with imperfection. So, I definitely failed Critical Thinking 101. Obviously, I would approach how I handled the doors differently. Alright, so in a step-by-step process, you remove the handles. Those you can take outside and spray paint, along with the grill that goes in the very bottom under there. And then this little top piece here, those have all been spray painted with the black appliance epoxy. What I did to get in between the gap of these doors is I used this foam brush and I dabbed it in, okay? Now, in retrospect, here's what step number 2 should be after you remove all the handles and everything. Take your spray paint and spray those sections, okay? Because what happens is that I wound up having to leave. You can see how the doors cracked open there and cracked open here, because if they were shut, I would never be getting these doors open ever again. And at one point, of course, to get into tight spots, after I had dabbed, you know, do the tight spots first, you open the door, and what happens is it sucks in the paint. Oops. But as you can see, it cleans up very easily with paint thinner. Alright, and then, you know, I'm either going to live with this on the edge, or I will come in with paint thinner and clean that up a little bit, possibly even sharpen it up a tad with a paint pen. Okay, so, but you can see all the way down the sides. Now what I did with the door to prop it open, that hydrator drawer, I pulled out just a hair so that then when this shuts, it doesn't close all the way. With the freezer, I had to tape on a couple of little pop caps. Okay, and again, this all has to be cleaned up. But, for the most part, I now have my black refrigerator because I hated the white one. It was so old. This, obviously, I had to tape off. You know, the little whirlpool thingy. Alright, and I will then clean that up a little bit more because there's some tape. You have to cut the tape so that you don't peel the paint. But I would say overall, this project's a definite win. And thank you all. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of my misadventures. The grill, bottom grill, is currently drying in the window because it's been aerosoled. And then it just simply snaps back onto the bottom. And voila, I just saved myself $900. Thanks for watching. An additional footnote, for some reason unknown to me, the one of my explanation videos did not turn out. So, let's rewind to when this paint's all wet and full of bubbles. What you need to do is look at it sideways to see if any of the paint is starting to sag or run. If it is, for example, that likes to happen around joints, definitely where this little screw was, for sure. So when you see it start to do that, you take a brush and you just dab it. And that will allow, it takes off the excess and it leaves bubbles, but the bubbles then just suck right back in and disappear. And so you will wind up with a smooth finish. That's kind of an important technique to know.